I can be bad at spoilers.
Sure.
I give spoilers sometimes and I don't mean to. And so I feel like I'm going to withhold that information.
Okay.
But I think that fans might think that we don't have an answer and there is one.
There is one.
And it's cool.
Are you thinking what I think you're thinking?
I'm thinking it.
What are we thinking?
Thinking
I'm
what?
thinking it too.
This is notably the first Thor movie that doesn't have Tom Hiddleston in it, and obviously he is such a big part of this franchise. What was that experience like not having him around?
He didn't want to be involved. He said, I hate all of you, and in particular me. And I was like, that's a shame, and that's it. I mean, how many times could he kill him is the big question.
Yeah.
You know, like,
He's died. How many times has he died?
3, 4.
Well, I guess maybe it's like
Dead.
burn bridges so that he's not like feeling emotional about it, right? Yeah.
We love Tom.
Yeah.
But he's dead. Not him, but the character of Loki.
He's just dead to
He's
us.
obviously dead to us.
Yeah.
As far as friendship goes.
The one that got away.
The one that got away.
That means escaped.
Yeah.
I mean, just having the experience of being in Thor Ragnarok, having the opportunity to work with Taika Waititi, I'm curious how early in the process in the making of this movie were you in his ear just saying what you wanted for Valkyrie and just what you were most passionate about?
Super early on, actually. Yeah, he pitched me some early ideas and then I pitched things back. And then some of the things I pitched are in the movie and some of the things that he pitched aren't or there. And it was really a process that was evolving, which was so fun for me because I don't know, I'm still so new to the camp, and I trust what Marvel does and Kevin and everyone there. So I'm just sort of like, whatever, I'll just show up, And this time around, it was also fun to spitball ideas and to be asked, what I thought and yeah, it's been so cool to be a part of that process.
It was really exciting getting to imagine with Taika and Chris and Jen, our co-writer with Taika, the kind of intermittent years between, Dark World and here, or I guess Avengers and here. But it was exciting also to get to kind of fill in the pieces of Thor and Jane's relationship as well. What's it been like, 3, 4 years?
8 years, 7 months and 6 days, give or take.
And do you think she got blipped?
Possible.
Taika described a much larger story, to me, and obviously we referenced the Jason Aaron comic books as well, about, Gorr.
So this is my vow. All gods will die.
He then presented it in a different order than had been anticipated. But you get somebody who you feel incredible pain and great sympathy for, but then someone who becomes an absolute monster based on his pain. He's a fascinating villain, and the villain was so much fun to play.
How exciting!
And Taika Waititi is known for just basically promoting creativity and just invention on set. Was that something that you found that you personally engaged with?
Yeah, and necessary, because when you're surrounded by blue screen each and every day, you need extra imagination, to keep yourself going. And I've not made a film like that before. And Taika, he uses music, he uses, his great sense of humor, but absolute wonderful sincerity and emotion. It is a beautiful film. And I think people will expect it to be bloody funny, and it is, but it is also incredibly moving as well, which is very surprising. And the two go hand in hand, right? As they always have throughout history, comedy and tragedy, and Taika does it effortlessly.
He insists on spontaneity at all times, and it's so incredible to be reminded of that nonstop. He rarely does what's on the page, and it's really quite a radical way to work on a movie of this size and really fun atmosphere. And he just brings a lot of joy and fun and kind of mischief to every moment of every day.
Is it intimidating at all?
It's definitely a new way of working because you really have to be relinquish control and just go with what happens. And but I think he creates such a kind environment that it's not he's not an intimidating person. He's a very warm, embracing person. So it makes you feel safe to to try whatever.
Yeah, I had a lot more confidence this time to just come with ideas, and also I just feel like my knowledge of the character and the universe and the world has matured so much, so I felt more comfortable in that space. The first time around, I was just like, I'm just learning, I'm like learning the ropes. And this time, still, there's like so much to always learn, but it's really fun to figure out how to, marry the things that are canon about the character and also explore the things that we bring as actors into the MCU. And to me, the most exciting journey is like, I'm a fan of these movies and a fan of these characters just as an audience member way before making these movies. And the most exciting thing is to see the marriage of really an actor with what is canon and the MCU with what is canon, and it's so fun. And then also if you pluck those characters into new environments, then you have the chance to imagine what they would be in those spaces. So for example, with Valkyrie, it's like, if she comes to Earth, like what does that mean for her? Does she become a musical theater fan? Yeah, maybe she does, and she loves Phantom of the Opera, and that's like fun. It doesn't take anything away from what exists in the comics. It's just expanding on what we know and understand and love about the character.
Oh.
Shall we help him? And eventually. Great.
I also want to ask about working with Russell Crowe as Zeus, because it's such a bombastic performance, but also that costume that he has is just perfect.
Amazing.
Well, that's right. Yeah, it's a nice little homage to Gladiator with the breastplate and stuff, and then also like the little tutu
little
thing.
skirt
like,
thing,
but also full credit to him. He's like powerhouse of an actor, and to be able to embrace that and go, okay, I know what they're doing.
Yeah, the self-deprecating.
He was like, okay, and I'll play along, and the whole.
Was the skirt lift him? All him?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
yeah. No, that self-deprecating kind of make a fool of myself kind of attitude that he was down for was brilliant.
Yeah.
And brought such another surprising element to the space that I don't think audiences would have expected.
And you do get the chance to work with a new weapon in this one too. You get to work with that Thunderbolt. I'm just curious, because it doesn't seem super wieldy. How do you fight with that?
No, it's pretty hard. And to be honest, like, give me a couple more months with that Thunderbolt and I might have really learned some tricks. I got okay with it, but Russell Crowe is so good. And I hope he doesn't mind that I'm saying this, but I watched him. He would rehearse sometimes outside of my trailer with it. And I would watch him because he's really good. He's like so fantastic at it. But I mean, that's the thing is I remember when I had Dragon Fang and it was like, I was first training with that weapon and my 2 daggers, I would spend so much time that become like, you become intimate with them in a way. So the Thunderbolt was fun to wield, but it's not my weapon. So I forgive myself for not being perfect at it.
This movie is a lot about intimate relationship with weapons. So,
I know. That is like the funniest thing, because that was actually something that really developed in the course of shooting the film and then seeing it last night, especially. It works like a charm. It's just like so funny.
Are you packed? Yes.
What I really love about your performance is just the contrast that exists between Jane Foster and Mighty Thor. You carry yourself very differently in both parts of that role. I'm curious just to what extent you compartmentalized the performances and just saw them as different things.
Yeah, I absolutely was. I was very grateful to have kind of the human and the superhero aspects, because I think it's so meaningful to get to see someone who can be quite powerful and also have a lot of vulnerability. I think there's kind of a misunderstanding that like a feminist character is just like badass, tough person, and I find it much more.
Traits.
Yeah, I feel like it's very human to have all of the sides. The vulnerability, the challenges, the weakness, the finding strength, finding power is something I can relate to a lot more.
I just want to say that was very, very impressive what you did back there.
So this is kind of a strange question 5 years into your Marvel tenure, but I am curious, is Valkyrie her name or is her name Brunhilde and Valkyrie is her title?
That's an interesting question. Which I don't know. This is the thing. I can be bad at spoilers. Sure. I give spoilers sometimes and I don't mean to. And so I feel like I'm going to withhold that information. Okay. But I think that fans might think that we don't have an answer and there is one.
There is one.
And it's cool.
Nice. I love that. That's a great tease.
Okay, we should go.